Ferris Bueller once said, and I quote, "Life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop to smell the roses won't be rosy anymore." I think what he meant by that is if you don't stop and pay attention to what's going on, you're going to miss it. And I love pop culture, and I love the happenings of the world, and I love music. But sometimes I get sucked into the zone of my own world, and then I miss what's going on. Right now, I have been in a Solange-centered playlist I curated myself, and when I'm not knee-deep in her lo-fi vibes and the lo-fi vibes of those like her, I'm listening to podcasts. There are only 24 hours in a day, people, and I beauty up for 8 of them. So when I'm only 50-50 on what the hottest music is, what do? Well, I make up what I think the Billboard Top 10 songs of the week are about, if I don't know already, of course. Because as the Dalai Lama once said, making up theories is poetry. Good news for you is I'm a poet. Number 10 on the Billboard Top 10 is Morgan Wallen with the song You Proof. Morgan Wallen, I remember the first time I saw him on SNL, I was like, this kid is going places. He's a star, mesmerizing eyes, just making love to the camera. Then I found out he broke his COVID bubble when he was supposed to be on SNL. Like, buddy, you couldn't miss the hoedown for 1 week to be on comedy's greatest sketch show? Come on. SNL forgave him. They gave him a second chance, so I forgave him. And then I heard he was running around saying the N-word, and I was just like, ugh. White men, don't do that. So I had to stop listening to him. That's right, after a week of bumping that country, because your girl bleeds hip-hop and pop music, but she will do a line of country when it's offered to her by a trusted source at a party. SNL was my trusted source, so I had to do a couple Morgan Wallen country bumps. Before the controversy, of course. But after finding that out, I stopped listening to him. My eardrum's my choice. So I have not heard You Proof. But if I had to guess what the song is about, and I do, I have to step into my own shoes and say, why would I name a song You Proof? I would name a song You Proof as the newest slang term for are you drunk? You feeling the proof in the liquor, baby? You proof? I don't know if that's the case for Morgan here, who also made the list at number 9 with his song, I Thought You Should Know. I imagine this song is a list of all his quirks that he's telling his girlfriend who's about to move in with him. I just thought you should know I snore. You should know I eat the apple core. I don't cut my nails, I leave pubic trails in the drain. I kiss my mama's picture at night. With you I'll start a nothing fight. I'll never open the pickle jar, 'cause I'll be at the bar with Steve. My pickup truck's where I like to jerk off. I'll come in all your nice dinner cloths. I eat my snacks from a piggy trough, and I just thought you should know. Number 8 is Calm Down by Rema and Selena Gomez. I imagine this song is dedicated to all Selena Gomez's haters, of which she has many. Did you know that she's the most followed woman on Instagram? And look, I don't want to pit women against each other, because ladies, we really do have to stick together, but god damn if these girls in Hollywood aren't obsessed with bullying a young Selena Gomez. I'm telling you. So I hope this is a song that is a message to the haters to calm down. It's not that serious. Leave this woman alone. Coming in at number 7 is Antihero by Taylor Swift. This song is catchy as hell, like most of the songs on her newest album, and it has been on the charts since it came out. And frankly, it's because people like to say the line, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me," whenever they do something askew, myself included. So until human beings stop being sloppy with every little thing we do, I think this song will continue to be on the charts. I like it too, and I think the whole part about her daughter-in-law in that song is so clever. Number 6, Boy's a Liar by Ice Spice, Part 2. That means, and I'm assuming here, so maybe I'm making an ass out of you and me, but I'm assuming there's got to be a Part 1, right? Here's the pros about men lying. A pro, you can write a song that makes you a lot of money. Big pro, huge. But the con is the lie. We all get lied to by the products we buy, by the food we eat, the filters we use on pictures. Why are we lying to the people we're fucking? And this song is a part 2. That means there was likely a whole bed of lies before this. The thing about telling the truth, there's less to remember. But then again, I guess there would be less Billboard hits then. Coming in at number 5, we have Creepin' by Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, and 21 Savage. It's obviously about forgetting your headphones while you're on the subway and playing your music anyway. Do you hate people like that? Or do you love how ballsy they are? It doesn't stop there for The Weeknd. Him and Ariana Grande also have the number 4 spot with I Would Die For You. Now, The Weeknd, one thing about him is he's going to write a song that ends up on a sex playlist. Let me tell you that much. That man does not play. I'd let him hit it and still put his tracks on in the background. Make that motherfucker harmonize with himself. You better lay it down twice, Zaddy. I know his name is The Weeknd, but I would ride that man on a Tuesday. Change that motherfucker's name to the month. Number 3 is Kill Bill by SZA. This song, I know you're not listening to the lyrics, little baby, and you must. A song about a broken-hearted woman talking about committing a crime of passion on her ex who's found love elsewhere, all atop a melodic, sick beat. It's easy to not listen to the words, but she wrote them for a reason. People aren't out here writing words for no reason. This song has been hot for so long, I can't believe it's not higher on the charts, but it's not higher because the number 2 spot is coveted again by Morgan Wallen. This time it's with his song Last Night, which I can only hope is a cover of Justin Timberlake's song Last Night, which never made it to the Billboard charts. Absolute blasphemy. And number 1 is Flowers by Miley Cyrus. This woman is just putting out better and better music every time she drops songs. No song has ever made me more proud to be single. A laundry list of things you can do with yourself and for yourself if your relationship didn't work out. And I don't know if Miley's looking for someone to remix with her, but she missed some other things you can do. You can sprawl out in the bed. You don't have to share your weed or your ice cream or negotiate a television show. And you can sprawl out in the bed. Did I say that one? Those are your actual factual Billboard top 10s of the week. And remember to listen to the lyrics. People wrote them for a reason. And if you don't know what a song is about, just make it up. Like Mother Teresa said, music is the orgasm of the heart, and it can't be faked.
Time for
the
Rocket
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, did you have a good week? I sure hope so. I hope if you brought a scratch off, you won it. I hope if you went on a date, you got a second one on the way. And I hope you did a little something for you. Monday, I saw the new Scream, and it was great. Shout out to the Core 4. The original Scream walked so this Scream could run, okay? So no one say it was better than the original. You wouldn't look at Tom Hanks in the face and say, Chet is better than you because he has your same charm and charisma, but he says and does wacky shit that keeps us on the edge of our seat. You wouldn't say that. So just put some respect on the name Scream when referencing the original. Both can be great. There was some drama surrounding one of the stars of Scream, also the star of Wednesday, Jenna Ortega. One of the producers called her entitled and toxic. Now, I have no idea if that's true. I'm likely going to still watch Wednesday, but I will say if it is true, I wouldn't be surprised. The other night, I was in a shared space of sorts with a celebrity. Maybe not a household name, but quite well known. And I sat there while she plopped her feet with her shoes on, shoes that had traipsed around New York City presumably all day, and she just plopped her shoes on a table that tons of people eat off of. I also thought this woman was the big bad wolf, the way she was huffing and puffing and scrolling through her phone like she couldn't be bothered to be here. And guess what? Whether I like it or not, she's allowed to act that way. But I'm also allowed to be like, damn. All that money, all that fame, the looks and the perks, and deep down you're just a slob kebab. I'm not naming who this person is because I'm no snitch. And because I know the pressures that come with fame, and you never know what kind of scrutiny celebrities are under. For example, Friday night, I'm out with a large group of friends having a time. And while I was in the bathroom hiding a fresh roll of toilet paper under the sink, this bathroom was so wet everywhere, even the toilet paper was soaked. Not because of me, I came in and it was already like that. But I had to scour this bathroom for a roll of toilet paper that was untouched for me and my friends. So while I'm in the midst of hiding this toilet paper, I hear the Rocky theme song playing. Dun 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 dun. Then the chants, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. This was a themed shot bar, so if you ordered a themed shot, there was a whole ordeal that happened. I love an ordeal, and this ordeal was coming from my camp, my friends. They had ordered the Rocky shot for me, but my hands were soaking wet and I couldn't get the bathroom door open, so I comically stood there trying to get out while being summoned by my peers. So yes, in that moment, I did feel the pressures of fame. I made it out of the bathroom, and don't worry, I let the crew know about the clean toilet paper. This isn't 2020, I wasn't hoarding. I've been listening to a lot of love songs lately because I feel like I'm on the brink of love. I had on Dashboard Confessional's 2006 hit Stolen blaring in my headphones on the train, and I was wondering why this woman kept giving me annoyed looks. To be fair, my volume was high, but I smelled great. So that should count for something, right? On a New York City subway? Maybe not, but I turned my volume down because I'm a citizen of the people, and I was also simultaneously trying to write an email. Sometimes I can't write an email when the music is too loud. And I would also like to say that it is crazy in 2023 you cannot unsend emails. That brings us to Rocky's Highest Thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, if you're worried about a curveball life is sending your way, just ask yourself, am I being tested right now? And then behave accordingly. Number 2, overlook and look over are actually really interchangeable for two words that aren't interchangeable. Think about it. Number 3, I am not in a rush to get anywhere. Period. Number 4, you meet a genie. They're cool as shit. They give you 3 wishes. Do you use your 3rd wish to free them? My guest this week is comedian Lissa Lenis. Lissa's wild word was messy, and honey, you ain't never heard a messy story like this one. Lissa gives us the goods and the bads of her unforgettable wild night. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, please subscribe on YouTube. My Patreon is alive and cooking for $2 a month. You can support the show. Just say, I love Wild Nights, and I would like to give you my money. And for $5 a month, you get weekly Irish lessons taught by yours truly. Irish is an endangered language. So get a little bit more Rocky and a little bit more fun in your content haul. All for the cost of one grande chai tea latte a month. You could support your favorite wild podcast. And if you can't fiscally support your favorite wild podcast, then share the podcast with one person that you think would like it. A big thank you and a future thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review when the episode is over. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Lissa Lenis. Lissa, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to do this.
I'm so excited to have you on. I just think you're so funny. You're so cool. You're so likable. So this is a great thing for me as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'm getting excited about it. I'm just like really bubbly right now.
You look bubbly. I was gonna say, like, as soon as I hit record, it was like your whole face lit up and I could feel it through the screen.
I think it's just like, I don't know. I like talking. I like hearing myself talk. I'm such a narcissist. I like hearing myself talk.
Most entertainers do. The ones that say they don't, they lie.
They're liars. Being a stand-up comic, that's all that we do. We want to go on stage and have us talk to you for 30 minutes max. Mm-hmm. Or even like people that are like 5 minutes, and I'm like, the whole time you're talking about yourself. So if you are sitting here saying that you're not about yourself, you're a liar. Yeah, exactly. And do you like doing podcasts? Do you do a lot of them? I have a podcast myself.
Yes.
Well, I'm recording a podcast with my other co-producer, Zubi Ahmed. It's called Lemons. We just talk about toxic traits, and we invite like different comedians on.
That's amazing. Well, I need to know right off the bat,
just as a little sample, what is the number one toxic trait for you?
Oh, for like what I have as a toxic trait?
No. What is like your deal breaker toxic trait?
Oh, somebody that isn't obsessed with me.
Okay.
I feel like, well, obviously not off the bat, but I could read red flags right away just because
Okay.
I'm one thing I will say about my stand-up comedy, I could read really well body language.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell when the audience is not liking something or anything. And same thing, like I could see on a man, like I'm like, I already know what your red flag is. I can tell what your toxic trait is off rip.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like if we're talking and I'm telling you something about my day and then you disregard it and go on to another subject, I'm like, I don't like this already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want to make this about you.
And that's not okay.
No, it's not.
That's not okay.
I'm the light of your life. So
Excuse me, sir, the kilowatts are all about me.
thank you. I should be the one that when you wake up, you're like, oh my God, Lisa. That's what we need, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, my biggest toxic trait that I don't like in a man is aggression.
Yeah.
I get that we're in an age of dating right now where it's just hookup culture.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And men, not saying all men, but
Not saying all men.
just some men are very aggressive to get straight to the pussy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a very big turn off because it's showing me what kind of person you are.
Exactly, right? I would 100% agree with that. Aggression is a huge turn off. Unless you're defending my honor.
Oh yeah, if you're defending
That's
my honor,
different.
I'm like, oh my God, we're getting married.
We're getting married
We're
tomorrow.
married.
But yeah, aggression is that is toxic. It's like, let's take a breath. It's 2023. There are resources to deal with this. We don't have to be aggressive. And if you get involved with somebody who is aggressive, guess what? That's just going to be
That's all
messy.
that you're gonna. Yeah. Oh, yep. Messy is gonna be.
It's
That's the trigger right there.
that
Being messy is like insane.
that's going to be the
Especially,
trigger. So
yeah. I don't know.
Lisa's wild word was messy. So Lisa, I'm
Oh.
dying to hear your wild night story. Give it to us messy.
Oh, boy. So my wild story has to do with the night I lost my virginity,
Okay.
and
So go
it
ahead.
was wild. It was wild. So, for the people that don't know me, I am a late bloomer.
Okay.
So I didn't start dating or anything until like I was about 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because being a bigger woman in society, you're kind of deemed as either a fetish or you're disgusting,
Gotcha.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always had those triggers in the back of my mind.
Right.
So when I turned 25, I was like, I'm losing out on life.
Yeah.
I'm losing out on experiences because I'm in my own head. So at 26, I just decided to like, I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna date. And if the men that don't like me don't like me, oh well, don't care.
Yeah. I don't need to date them.
And the second I started dating, it was like everybody, it was like I was bright light.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Like I would walk into a room and like all the guys would gravitate towards me.
Well, it was
Not to
because
sound,
you loved yourself and you were like, yeah, I don't need any of you, but if any of you are going to come over here and enhance my life, come on over.
yeah, not to sound like facetious or like very like narcissist when I say that, but it's like it was a magnet pull. Granted, I wasn't pulling the most best people in the world,
Gotcha.
but I was just like, all right, whatever, we're having fun.
You had attention on you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so one night, I went out with some of my these old girlfriends I used to have
Mm-hmm.
in college, and we went to Applebee's, and whenever you go to Applebee's, it's those drinks. I always end up hungry and drunk. Like it doesn't matter. Like I've eaten there, but with all those drinks in me, I'm hungry all over again.
And if I recall, Applebee's used to do the two for drinks. So you would get like two really strong drinks for like $7 or something like that.
Well, that night it was $1 Long Island iced tea,
Great, great.
and I was like, and I only had 3.
But that's all you need. It's 5
That's all
different
you need.
alcohols. Yeah.
First of all, you needed 1 from Applebee's.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, Applebee's drinks are watered down. And I'm like, where?
Yeah.
Where?
Not at all.
3 Long Island. And me and my girls were like, you know what? It's Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. Let's go get tattoos. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go get tattoos.
Right.
Let's go get tattoos. So we go to this parlor, and the tattoo artist,
Fine.
he was so yummy.
Yeah.
When I tell you the men that I used to date, you would be like, you like criminals. you like criminals, and you need therapy. Like, he was everything. His name was Waka. That's not his real name, but that's his nickname. So we can use that for the podcast.
We'll use Waka. Fine. Yeah.
His name was Waka. He had tattoos like all over here. Of course, he had a man bun, but like he had like tattoos all over. And he was just like, yo, what tattoo you want to get, ma? And I was just like, I'm leaving with you tonight.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, he tattooed me, and then we went to a bar after that, and he's like straight up macking me. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I really pulled this fine man. I was like, oh my God, I pulled this fine ass man.
Right.
And then my girls were like, you can't, like, you just met him, you can't leave with him. I was like, bitch, fuck you, fuck everybody right now. Like, I want to leave with him. So we exchanged Instagram, and he's like, I have to go do something. I'll be right back. And then I'm waiting at the bar, and my friends were like, he left you. And I was like, no, he didn't. He went to go do something real fast.
He would never do that to me. You don't know him like I know him.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
So we're at the bar, and then he comes back. He had a plate of wings. I said, oh my God.
I'm in heaven.
Is this your proposal?
Yeah.
He came back with wings. So he's feeding me wings. At that point, I was like, okay, this is kind of like, like, as a bigger woman, being fed is so disgusting. But when you're drunk, you're like, all right, you're taking care of me.
Yeah, you're a human being. You're like, all of us want to eat. Like, all of us want to eat. But like, if you're saying he's feeding you, you're like, are you doing this because you like me, or are you being weird right now?
Are you being weird? Is this a fetish you have going on?
Yeah, because that's not okay.
So then time passes, we're still talking. It's about 3 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
And my friends, mind you, me and my other 2 friends got the same tattoo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We had matching tattoos. So I don't even talk to them anymore. They're like, I don't even know what they're going on in life right now.
Gotcha.
But
Press
it's like
the tattoo.
we have matching tattoos. So I'm like, okay, no problem. And it's 3 a.m. My friends are like, we're gonna go. Like, we have to go. It's too late. And then I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, well, I have your Instagram. You can call me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We're gonna get it. He was like, no. I was like, okay. He's like, you're coming with me. I was like, I'm scared, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm intrigued. I love every moment of it. So I was like, I feel safe with him, girls, but you have my location. If anything, like, I'll like, I had an Apple Watch at the time, so I'll just put the siren emoji, and that's your call. That's like, you gotta come and get me now.
You gotta have the codes. You gotta have codes.
And so I go with him, but I go to this music studio, and I'm like, are we about to make music? He's like, I'm also a rapper.
Great.
And he started showing me his music, and the whole time I'm like, this is so good.
So wait, it wasn't good?
It wasn't. It was horrible.
Awesome.
And like, like, at that moment I felt like a man. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever to get this dick.
Yeah. You're like, I like how you rhymed least with beast.
Okay, I love how that beat transitioned into that beat. It was so great.
Very
so
seamless.
Great.
Yeah, very seamless.
Oh my God, Mozart could never. Mozart could never. That's all you, babe.
Beethoven is wishing.
Okay. And like, There's a moment that I remember very vivid where I'm sitting at the music studio and I'm looking around. Rocky, when I tell you this could have been a red flag right there,
okay,
for me to leave, but drunk me, I was like, I'm staying. Yeah. I'm in this forever. I'm looking around. What do I see? I see every religious figure that you could think of. Great. I saw Gandhi. I saw Jesus. I saw, what's the lady with all the arms?
Medusa?
The blue. No, the religious figure, the Hindu religious figure.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. It's like a profile and like that kind of like ocean blue.
Yeah. If you're Hindu and I'm messing up your god, I'm sorry. But
yeah, no,
yeah. He had every religious figure that you could think of on the walls.
Gotcha.
And then anything that was an eye. Like an eye. Like an actual eye.
Love it.
All over. And I was like, why is there so many eyes in this room right now? She's like, I don't know. I just got a thing for eyes. I think eyes. Like, and then that's when he started like spilling all this stuff about the Illuminati.
Great. I was like, gonna ask about the Illuminati. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I of course I attract a conspiracy theorist right away. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? I don't even give a fuck. I show me that dick. Like, I'm so at one point I was like, all right, I feel like nothing's gonna happen. So I get up and I'm like, I'm gonna head out. It was great meeting you. If you want to go on a date, like, Instagram me.
Yes.
And he was like, no. I was like, what? And mind you, it's always the skinny guys, Rocky. It's always the skinny guys. When I tell you he closed that door with his hand and picked me up and threw me on that couch.
Yeah, big old
had
dick.
his way. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was a soup can going up. Oh my God.
What are those things that you shake and the snake pops out? It's like
that. And I was like, and mind you, I did not tell this man he had just taken my virginity. Like, I did not tell this man at all.
Wow.
So when he went in there, he went in there.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna hurt.
yeah, the rumors.
Yeah, and I was like, it was good. It was a little hurtful, but it was
so good. Yeah.
But then after that, we finished, and he was like, come back to mine and you could sleep with me in my bed. And I was like, all right, no worries. So we go back to his, we sleep on his bed. I wake up and it all hit me at once. I was like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
And I look and I'm like, ow. I don't even remember the tattoo at that point.
Right. Oh, that's right.
I look and I'm like, ow. And I look and I keep looking at this tattoo. Hold on, let me see if I can show you.
Oh, that is really fun. Is it kind of like a crown?
Girl, hold on. Can you see that?
I see 13.7, and then it looks to me like a crown.
It's a crown.
Yeah.
It's a 5-point crown.
Okay, so what is that? You got to tell me.
So I did not know at the time this man, I don't even know if I could say this. He was a Latin king. He is a Latin king because he can't be was. And I looked at I was like, why do I have a 5-point star, like, crown on my arm right now?
Oh my gosh.
And when I tell you, I freaked out so badly. I was making appointments to, like, get it lasered off the second I saw it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you're my princess. No. This is why I did it. And I was like, absolutely not. I just met you.
And this was the matching tattoo you got with your girlfriends.
So the other girls, they got the same crown, but they had A squared because their names both started with A.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I'm just going to do, I don't even know what the 13.7 stands for.
It's just
I was like, is this a district? Am I in, like, I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, is this a district? Like, am I about to get got? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to figure out how to get out of his apartment without making it sound like
Lisa.
I'm like I was like, oh my God, babe, I'm gonna go get us breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I'm at.
Okay.
I don't even know where I'm at.
It was one of those situations you walk out, it's daylight, and you gotta like get your bearings.
I walk out and I go 125th. I'm like, I keep walking forward and I hit the Grand Concourse. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the Bronx.
Ooh.
I went from Queens to the Bronx.
Right.
In the span of a night. Mind you, I'm from Queens.
Right.
I never go to the Bronx.
Right.
I listen. No, I have family in the Bronx. I never go see them. They come to Queens to come to see me.
They gotta come to Queens, yeah.
I couldn't be bothered.
Right.
I keep walking. I hit Grand Concourse. I was like, oh my God, where's the six? I was like, I just need to find the six. I need to find this. And at this moment, I'm wearing like the shortest black dress ever.
Right.
And it was like literally the day after. I don't know if you are a fan of soccer, but it was when Colombia was in the World Cup and they were playing against Brazil, and Brazil
won. Was that 2016?
2017.
2017?
2017. Yeah, right before the pandemic.
Okay, yeah, I remember vaguely. I just wasn't 100% sure on the year.
And but yeah, I tell you, Rocky, I was like, this is the most messiest shit ever. And then I was like, I don't even think anybody in their life would wake up in another borough with a tattoo on their arm that's a gang tattoo.
Right.
I was just like, oh my God, this is so messy. And now I literally just thrive off of it.
Yeah, now you have it. It's maybe kind of like a little form of protection almost, right?
Yeah, it's also like a warning for me, like, let's go to Applebee's tonight.
Yeah. We're going to TGI Fridays, baby. We can't go to Applebee's.
Yeah. Go to Olive Garden, okay?
When you're there, your family. You might leave with another tattoo though. So did you have any contact with him after?
He follows me still, and he because I started comedy in 2018-19.
Okay.
So he's been to a couple of shows.
Okay, he came.
Yeah, and I used to tell that story on stage, and he was like, "Why did you tell me you were a virgin?" I was like, I didn't think it was. I feel like virginity is such a social construct.
Yeah, and it's not
to sound like a Gen Zer, because to Gen Zer everything's like social construct, but
yeah,
I feel like I didn't have to. I was drunk.
Yeah, it's not like, and it wasn't about that. Like, it can be, losing your virginity can be something where maybe it means something more to someone else. Their ultimate goal is to lose their virginity, but your ultimate goal was just like, hey, I want to date and I want to see what's out there and I'm worthy of doing those things. So here's what happens. But the losing the virginity was just the icing on the cake, or the tattoo on the arm, however you want to look at it.
And then it's funny because after that, I was trying to find like laser places to remove it. They're so expensive. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah, you'd almost be better like maybe covering it if you wanted to, but it's such a great story.
Yeah, I do cover it whenever I'm like in hood places, like Dykeman or like Jackson Heights and stuff like that, because it's like it is a gang tattoo at the same time.
Gang stuff can be really, really dicey. I remember I was working at a restaurant. This was years ago, maybe like 2014, 2015. I was working at a restaurant, and I'm not even going to do the symbol, but someone had taught me how to make the like blood word with my hands.
With your fingers? I used to do that at school. Thought it was so cool. I was like, ooh.
I thought it was the coolest thing, and I have the longest fingers in the world, so I would do it. And so I had a friend that I worked with, my friend Jerry, shout out to my friend Jerry, and he had gotten a couple guys busser jobs at the restaurant. So at the end of the night, we're all supposed to roll up the silverware to put it on the table. And I'm sitting at the table with my friend Jerry and one of the busters that he had gotten a job. And this busser was hard. He was hard, and he was not messing around.
What do you mean, like intimidating?
He could be to some people. I didn't really find him intimidating personally, but I could see how he could be intimidating, and he just was no nonsense, no cracking smiles, no joking around. Like he was
very militant,
very militant, very like would be cleaning the tables with it, like his mouth just like mad. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Very, very hard. And so he was sitting at the table with me and Jerry. And Jerry knows me. Like we worked together for years. He was like a little brother to me. I love him. And we're sitting there and they're talking about gangs. And they're talking about, you know, he was talking about, oh, my brother was in this gang. My other cousin is in this gang. But and he kept, I don't know what nickname he was using, but he was like using a nickname for the Crips. And I'm trying to be like so innocent. And I was like, oh my God, are you guys talking about like gangs? Like, look what I can do. And I did the blood.
Oh no.
So dumb, so dumb. And I do the symbol of the Bloods to him. And I just remember him looking over at Jerry and going, is she fucking serious right now? And Jerry was like, no, man, she's cool. Don't worry. It's all
dead.
Good. And
do I have to get this white girl right now?
Literally, my heart sunk down into my chest. My heart sunk into like the pit of my stomach. I was like, this is.
I would have been scared. I
was scared for a second because he looked at Jerry like, I'm not playing. Like, why did she just do that? Did she know what she did? And he was like, no. He totally vouched for me. He was like, she's cool. She's just like having like, she really thinks that's cool what she's doing.
Well, shout out to him because after that tattoo, I worked in retail, and at the time I was working retail at a beauty supply in Massachusetts, Queens, and a lot of the customers are Latino or they're like Russian, Polish too.
Okay.
And every time I had the tattoo out, there's like several OGs over there, which is what I call like an old school, like, because Maxwell's like on the cusp of Brooklyn and Ridgewood.
Yeah, and where the Chili's is at, right? There's a Chili's there. Mm-hmm. I used to go to that Chili's all the time. There. Yeah, I used to live on the border of Ridgewood, so
there's a lot that area is very much Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. Like it used to be Puerto Rican before like the Russians and the Polish came through, and then now gentrification and all this. Anyways, right. But there's like so many like OG like barbers that come into the shop, and they saw that and they was like, who are you messing with? Yeah. Like what did you get yourself into? You never had that before. I was like, honestly, I don't even know how to explain myself.
Yeah.
But it was just once I got that, I was like, I don't know. It was I was like, that's so wild. After that, I don't really have any wild nights. Yeah, I'm very boring.
Well, you know,
you were like, you want to tell a wild. Yeah, no, you were like, you tell a wild story. Like, I'm very boring.
That was the furthest from boring. That was the furthest from boring. Now, when you had that experience, you had not been doing comedy yet.
No, I was doing a couple of open mics at my college, and I was still chicken. I say that's the chicken to go to the actual comedy clubs and do open mics.
Yeah.
So I was doing mics at my school to the point that the school appointed me to do mics. They was like, you want to host them? You do them all the time. I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't mind. And then there was like, do you have a cafe in mind? And I was like, New Yorican. So I would do the New Yorican every now and then. And then I progressed to like going to the Creek and Cave.
Yeah.
They used to be open. It's not open anymore.
I know. It was such a good spot, the Creek and the Cave. It was such a great spot.
That mic was horrendous.
Oh,
when I tell you, I used to put my name down in that bucket. 10 p.m., right? I would not get up until 1 a.m. in the morning.
God damn.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I did that mic a couple of times, and then I forgot the girl's name. I remember her face, and I have yet to run into her now. She was like, hey, I've seen you do the mics here. I want you to do like a 5-minute guest spot on my show.
Nice.
Here on, I think it was Wednesday. It was a Wednesday show at 9 p.m., but it was like downstairs by the arcade.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll do a 5-minute guest spot. And I remember the date specifically because it was March 13th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we shut down.
2020.
20, sorry, 20.
Yeah.
We shut down. I was like, I didn't even get to do my first guest spot or anything.
Yeah, it's done.
And I was like, so upset about it.
But now, forward to now, you are the producer of Bodega Kids comedy.
Yes, I am. I love that.
Which is a very, very well-known show in the city.
I think for me, I'm like, yeah, I produced that show, but whenever I hear people talk about it, I'm like, it's just a show. Like a lot of people hype it up. They're like, oh my God, you're the producer of Bodega Kids. And I'm like,
That's a big deal.
I know. I think I have to start processing like I actually did this.
You did, and you do have to process it and take it in because it's a show. When you drop the name of it, people know. Where did the title come from? What was the birthing like of Bodega Kids? Because that's your baby.
Bodega Kids, yeah, my baby. I was walking around and I was like, that's a bodega.
Mm-hmm.
And there were kids playing, and I was like, Bodega Kids.
Yeah.
My coworker at the co-producer at the time was like, "That's a stupid name." I was like, "That's the name of the show now."
So sorry about it.
And then we started doing the show at this Cuban restaurant. At the time, it was called Quimbao. It's now called Antonio's. And the first show, I always say this: the first show was like 10 people, and it was like my friends. Mm-hmm. And I told my co-producer, I was like, can you host it? And I'll just do 10 minutes on it because I don't want to host for my own friends. Like I know everything about them.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? And then the place that we started at was very like, I don't know what it is because even now it's very like, I feel like it's a cursed place because there's always the business changing every time I pass by it.
Or like a money funneling place.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but the management kept changing. Everything kept changing. And I was just like, you know what? We got to find somewhere else. Yeah. And then that's when we put it in a bodega. I found a bodega. We did a bodega show. And then from there, we did it at we did it at St. Mark's. And that's where it really grew. Yeah. St. Mark's Comedy Club, it grew really big. Mm-hmm. It grew to be really big. And then we had gotten the stand. And once we got the stand, I was like, all right.
This is it.
It's a lot. It's a lot to sell in general at the stand because it's a 115 sellout. Yeah. I was like, as long as I can get 80 tickets sold, I'll be happy.
Right. And you're able to do that.
Looking at my track record, I sold out 5 shows for them. Damn. And I sold out New York Comedy Club. I sold out, I don't even know if I could say this. I sold out my birthday show, which is tomorrow.
That's amazing. And that's at the stand?
It's at New York Comedy Club.
Oh, it's at New York Comedy Club.
Yeah, I don't have, a lot of people are like, what happened with the stand? I was like, I don't have issues with the stand. I just wanted to I don't want to be
tied
to certain places. Yeah. I like it that it's a very big pop-up, but right now the New York Comedy Club pretty much was like, no, we want you. And they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I was like, all right, we'll do it monthly with you guys. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really, I say this a lot and I still think about it to this day. I'm like, it's just a show. Yeah, but to other people, it's like, it's not just a show. Like, I've had people on that show and they're like, because I did your show, I blew up. Yeah. And I was just like, I always give opportunities to people that I'm like, yo, this person is really dope. Like, and if they're a person of color, even more. Because that's what the show is known for that. Yeah. Like, it's the best Black, Brown, and Latino show in New York City. And I just tell myself, I'm like, I really made this platform. And I try to be very humble about it. Like, even now, you were like, it's a very well-known show. I'm like, it is. I'm very humble about it. I love what I've created. I love the stage I created for other performers. And I love our audiences. I think it's so funny when people who have the same similar type of show, and I'm like, oh, I love your show, and they're like, oh, it's a different audience than what you have, and I was like, okay, I don't, I don't do anything, but
No, I think it is a big deal. And I know, and I understand why you want to keep it humble and say, it's just a show. I started maybe like as a passion project, right? I want to be a producer. I got to produce my own show if I want to do stand up. But then it grew to this thing, maybe even bigger than you thought it could grow to. But it's a show that can stand on its own. And so I'm not surprised that New York Comedy Club is like, we want you. We need you. You're going to come and be our baby. You know what I mean? That's not surprising to me.
Yeah, we really went with New York because I like also what New York represents. And this is not me disregarding the Stand. The Stand is a very good, well-known club, but New York, even the essence of saying my show's at New York Comedy Club. New York Comedy Club is known for being authentic. It's very authentic when it comes to comedy. Like, the Stand has but a handful of people of color. And New York has a lot more.
Yeah.
And also, like, I love the stage. Like, the stage is not so high up.
No, it's like,
so you're very connected to the audience. And you can see your reaction. I like that. Like, I like the Stand too, the stage downstairs, but it's just so high up. Even upstairs, their stage, I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, a million times. Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's definitely more it's definitely more polished, where New York Comedy Club has that like authentic, gritty, we're a comedy club. The Stand is like, you're gonna come in and you can see the chefs cooking and it's gonna be like clean. I went on a date there once with a guy who I know this was a while ago, but I told him, I was like, I'm in the comedy community and like I do like improv and comedy and I love stand up. And he was like, oh, I know somebody that works at the Stand and he lived by there. So he took me on a date there and he ordered the salmon. And I was like, good for him. I know it's quality food at the Stand. It's delicious. But there was just something about ordering salmon at a comedy club. I'm like, I feel like that's not supposed to happen.
I'm not a fan of salmon.
Gotcha.
So even though it's funny because, me, I'm half Black. So
oh, me too.
Yeah, so I'm half Black. Like, my father's Afro Latino, and my mom's Colombian.
Got it.
So Black people be using salmon like it's steak. I'm like, come on, we got other fishes we could fry.
My brother will eat it every day if he could.
Salmon really just like, I got so sick of it.
Yeah, and then, I like it, but my brother will literally eat that shit every day. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I'm like, even people, like, I see people do meal preps, and I'm like, damn, you eat a lot of salmon. That's mercury. That's mercury up in there.
That's mercury.
That's mercury, girl. That's too much. Yeah, I've tried their salmon. They have like this creamy consistency on top, which is really good. The food is good. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. The food is really delicious there. It's like, it feels like a higher quality. You're going to get a great show, but sometimes with stand up, you want that gritty element.
Yeah, but it doesn't also help. Like, their comedians very much are like online famous.
I hate to say it.
A lot of the clubs have gotten gimmicky with that. With the, I need to get somebody that has 10K followers or stuff like that, which is fine because you get an audience, you get access and seats. That's very fantastic. But it's also like, does every comic have to have like 60K following here?
Well, we can talk about that a little bit because I mean, it does feel like it's quantity over quality a lot of the time with everything, not just stand up. Anybody who has an online presence, it's like, how many followers do you have? And it might be just one sound clip that was so funny, that was so great, you caught them at a great moment, and now they have 75,000 followers. but the rest of the stuff can't keep up with that, and it's not as authentic. So that is challenging. It's like everyone's looking for the viral clip.
Of course, you start losing your authenticity when you, I feel like, when you become online famous.
Especially if you didn't have it before, because you could have the authenticity and then that gets recognized and then you blow up further. That we've probably had friends that's happened to, and you're like, oh yeah, wow, this is great to see you have.
Oh yeah, one of my close friends, he went viral. And I saw him the other day on stage, and I was just like, man, why are you still doing the same set? And he's like, I need to get a better clip. I need to get a better clip. I need a clip.
Right.
I need a clip. I need a clip. And I'm like,
everybody needs a clip.
Everybody needs a clip.
There was one, I was at a show and one comedian was talking about how now her other job is, I'm a content creator because I can't just work on writing and doing stand-up because I have to go home and edit clips for hours on end. And I was like, yeah, everybody, it's like we're all falling into this rhythm of like constantly having to put out content with it, which is another job in itself.
I find myself like, I have a lot of my clips I put out are Hannah Burner clips, just because I don't want to put myself into editing that much, or I even do, sometimes I'll do little snippets of my set. Because I don't want to burn material. And that's the key word there. Burning material for me has been my biggest fear as a stand-up comic. Because I will put out a clip of material, let's just say it's a minute and 30-second setup, pop, and I get the biggest laugh. Goes viral, 1.9 million, right?
Boom.
Now, people that come and see me are expecting more, but I can't because I'm only doing the same material I've been doing because I haven't gotten a chance.
And you're honing it.
Right. Yeah, and I'm holding on to it. So for me, it's like, I don't want to burn material either. Yeah. So I'm kind of scared at that point, because it's like, I am a stand-up comic and I'm supposed to have so many minutes on me, but I also don't want to lose those minutes if they go viral.
Exactly. Do you find yourself doing a lot of crowd work?
If I'm hosting, my hosting says only crowd work, because that's what you do. You do crowd work for hosting. If I'm doing a spot, if somebody paid me to do 15 minutes, I'm doing material. Yeah. I don't mind doing like a minute or two in the beginning just to have the people warm up to me. But I'm going into material. Yeah. It's also, I also want to do material I've been working on. Yeah. Because I need to, I'll be honest, like, mics for me don't work. I don't find joy in mics at all. Right. Like, sitting around and performing, I need to hear like authentic laughs. Yeah. Because if you're at a mic and the comic laughs, that means that material is trash on stage. Gotcha. So for me, going to a mic, and that sounds high sedity or anything like that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Well, you have to do what works for you. And everyone thinks like there's this formula that I have to follow, but it's like, no, you have to follow the formula for Lissa. And if that is working, and if that equation is working, then you keep doing it. But right now, whatever you're doing is working. You know what I mean? You're making an amazing name for yourself. You've created the show that has an amazing name. Now, I know you said that you have a show this Thursday, but the episode won't be out yet. So what else do you have? Do you have any other Bodega Kid shows that you want to promote coming up, or any other shows that you're going to be on that people can check you out? Of course. I have Bodega Kids every month, the first Monday at New York Comedy Club, Midtown location of the month. Yeah. So after this show, it'll be April 3rd. Beautiful. At 7 p.m. at New York Comedy Club, Midtown location. And I am becoming a new producer of a new show called Thick and Span. It's going to be April 21st at 9 p.m. I'm going to do it in Queens. So I'm bringing comedy back to Queens at this vegan spot called Urban Vegan Roots. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've not heard of that. And we got sponsored by Mini J's. Nice. A weed company. I don't know. This is my other co-producer, JJ Matisse. This is all her. I'm like, all right.
Will
I
you
don't
be
know
giving
anything
out
about
J's at the
sponsorship.
show?
So you buy a ticket, you get a J.
Oh my God. And it's in we're in Queens.
It's in Urban Vegan Roots.
Okay.
It's in a vegan restaurant.
Gotcha.
It's so dope too. Like I went there to eat, and they have like different graffitis on the wall and stuff like that. It's a new space, and it also has like a big stage.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
so
you get a J with your ticket.
Yeah, I don't smoke, but
I'll take your J.
Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna be at.
That's amazing, Lissa. And first, as far as social media, where can everybody find you, follow you, keep up with Lissa?
If you want to follow me, you can follow me on all platforms at damn_Lissa DAMMN_LISSA.
Beautiful. Lissa, this was so wonderful. We didn't even get to go into, I wanted to ask you so many questions about teaching and French and all these things, but we didn't even get to go into it. So I'll have to have you back on the show. But I just want to thank you so much for sharing your time, sharing your story, sharing your laughs. This was awesome. So thank you so much, Lissa.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I had a fantastic time.
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again. We'll talk soon, Lissa, okay?
All right. Bye.